Hello everyone, my name is Nisreen. I'm a lactation specialist, childbirth educator, and a certified trainer. I'll be talking about Ramadan and fasting for the breastfeeding mothers. Now, each year, 1 month or 2 months before Ramadan or holy month comes, mothers will start thinking and searching on, let us say, the medical advices or the Islamic advices if she can be able to fast or not fast. Now, it's very important to decide medically and healthy way if you're able to continue or to plan for fasting. Well, on the fiqh side or the Islamic side and the rules and conditions, I'm not going to discuss this because each mother stays in a special country and each mother have or her own followers there. But from the medical side or the medical let us say awareness and information regarding to decide if your baby going to be safe while breastfeeding and fasting, and your health should be safe in breastfeeding and fasting. Now in this thing I will be highlighting 3 important factors you need to keep in mind. Is just to make sure is yourself ready as healthy wise, and the baby's age is important, and also the baby's condition at that time. And other factors could be the month of Ramadan, when it falls in which climate. Like if it falls in a climate which is cold, less hours of fasting and less, feeling of tired and thirsty. But if it falls in summer, well, it's the duration will be of the total hours will be more, and you will be exhausted and you started to feel thirsty or tired. So the climate is very important as well, and where do you stay in which country, because the total hours also makes differences from one country to another. So keep these main factors, and we will discuss in details how to decide and how to plan a safe fasting during Ramadan with a breastfeeding baby. So I want to keep in mind that not to compare yourself with other mothers or sisters. Why? Because sometimes the social factors, or let us say the environmental factors, or my own condition of medical, let us say, background or any medical history could affect my decision to plan a fasting during Ramadan. And maybe I will be able to fast with this baby, but I will not be able to fast with the second baby. And I'm not really in a condition to compare myself with others, because my social factors or my medical condition at this time in a certain situation is not the same as the others. So please don't compare yourself and say, my sister fasts during breastfeeding, I should be able to fast. It's a plan of encouraging others that they'll be able to do it, but it doesn't have to be a must for a mother's different conditions and social factors or even environmental factors or medical conditions. So keep these in your mind. Now, if you want to plan for fasting, as we said, it's very important to put yourself in these questions. Did I really establish a good milk supply when the baby is at the right time for fasting? And what is the age of the baby? And if I am really a mother who is really working or not working, or let us say my nutrition status makes also a decision for me if I'm able to do or continue fasting. So if the baby's age is very important to keep it in mind. If the baby's age less than 6 months, then there's a big, let us say, question mark to decide critically if I'm able to do it or not. Because the first 6 months, the baby will have to continue exclusively breastfeeding, and the baby depends on your own milk itself. So it makes really differences for a mother who's having a baby less than 6 months and a mother who's having a baby more than 6 months. So if the baby is less than 6 months and the baby depends on you, and there's no way that he's really getting any other resources. I'm talking about pure breastfeeding mothers. I'm not talking about the mothers who are doing artificial milk or mixed feeding, because even if you're doing a mixed feeding, the baby is getting another resource. So for a purely breastfeeding mothers, please make sure that you understand the situation of the baby's age and decide accordingly. Now, some mothers will be able to do plenty of milk during this age, and she could be able to do it, and we will discuss in the remaining details on this. So if you are having a baby less than 6 months and you have a plenty of milk and baby is safe, then you can go ahead and try, and just be careful of the signs which I will let you know. Now, in case if you still didn't establish a good milk supply, and especially for the baby's age who were born less than 9 months, so the baby's Age is a factor, but also the time of birth. Did the baby have, let us say, a full-term delivery of like total 9 months or total almost 39 to 40 weeks pregnancy, or the baby was titled as a late preterm baby, which means the baby was born between 34 to 36 weeks. And these babies in the first 2-3 months after delivery have lots of difficulties to establish direct breastfeeding or even to maintain the supply and to establish your own milk supply. So if you're at this category, please be careful and get a direct follow-up with a lactation consultant to help you, to give you the alternatives and let you know if you're able to do it or not. So late preterm babies and premature babies or sick babies is very difficult to decide, so keep an eye on this and keep a record with your close lactation consultant. Now, another factor is if the baby is above 6 months. So if the baby is above 6 months, it's easier for a mother to decide according to the baby's age because he started to eat food. Now, there's another funny factor, actually. Some mothers will say, oh, my baby started 6 months, so I will be able to feed. Well, at this moment, still the baby is having a main resource of breast milk, which is 70% to 80% of your own breast milk. So what happens? The mother will foster herself to do the fasting while the baby is having only 2 meals and still he's taking a lot of the mother's milk. So any chance that still he didn't get, let us say, a good resource to support him during the day and make it less effort on yourself to breastfeed him, then it's another difficult factor. So keep in mind, if you're still establishing the early food supply for the baby and still he's depending on your own milk, it's another factor. Keep an eye on this. Now, if the baby started to be 7 months and above and he's taking 3 to 4 meals, then the amount of breastfeeding is less in a quantity. It's not amount in let us say the amount of milk you produce, because the body at this time will try to adjust to the baby's need. So your body will slow down, the prolactin level will slow down, and then your milk will be only established to the baby's need and according again to your supply and demand. But the only factor is that you are not concentrating on your own milk, so the baby will give you a chance and a gap to do other things. It's like a plan of fasting if you wish. So another factor, as we said, the baby's age, so keep it in mind. So if the baby is eating 3 to 4 meals and he's able to eat plus your breastfeeding, then it's a good sign for you to start. Now, another thing is it's to keep track your own nutrition status before and during fasting. Some mothers really have some problems, like a medical condition, could be a diabetes or a hypertensive or any medical condition, or sometimes she's anemic. So please keep an eye on this and seek help with your gynae doctor or the medical doctor to make sure that you're taking the right supplements or medication if needed. And also, if you're taking your minerals or vitamins, keep and continue taking them to make sure that you are able to do the healthy status will be supporting you during Ramadan. And make sure that you're eating very healthy, because some mothers tend to reduce the amount of food, and some mothers, they try to do some special regimes or diet plans to reduce their weight. So again, it's another thing where we advise mothers not to think about diet controlling after or before 6 months. It's better to do it after 6 months. So in case if you keep an eye on your schedule of your food, please talk to the nutritionists who are supporting and trusted, and they're so keen about the quality and the calories do you need as a breastfeeding mother. So make a variety of food intake which contains protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, and fibers. It's very important. Don't reduce the amount. It's just to play around with the quality itself and to make sure that you are able to take the quality and the calories that you need as a breastfeeding. Now, if you have a healthy status before Ramadan, you will be, inshallah, able to do the fasting during Ramadan. But if you are not taking care very well before that, then your body will react very poor, and then you will not be able to continue fasting. Or if you are forcing yourself to fast, you will not be able to continue milk or breastfeeding during your milk supply will be dropping. Now, and another factors, 2 main factors if you plan to fast actually, and for the mothers who are able to fast, which which it's a good thing for them and well done for them. Just keep an eye on the vital signs, or let us say the your healthy status during the day, and also your intake should match whatever is going out later on. Because if you started to have reduced urine output, or the color of the urine is very dark, or the smell, its differences, you started to get some dizziness attack or fainting attack, you started to be really stressful, or let us say angry, or getting a severe headache in between, it's very important to cut down the fast and get yourself hydrated and eat well, because even the psychological factors, or let us say the stress factors of the mother, will be also an effect on your milk supply, plus an effect on the baby's behavior. So the baby will really be tensed again because of your tension. So keep an eye on these signs. On the other hand, the baby should also be watched closely for urine output. If it's reduced, the stool also is reduced, the color of the urine, if it's really changed to a darker urine or smell, and also baby's behavior could be really crying, or too much stress after feed or during feed, or he's demanding a lot than the normal, or in case if you're able to watch his weight and you saw a severe drop in the weight during Ramadan, or a slowdown, or even not increasing at all during this. So please watch this very carefully, and you have to stop the plan of fasting and do it again, and plan to do it later after that. So it's very important to watch yourself, the baby, and also to plan for the safe fasting. The last, let us say, idea you can do for the mothers who wish to fast and everything is normal for her, with all the normal factors that she's watching, but still her body is not really adjusting to that much, you can try the alternative fasting. Sometimes you can do the 1 day fasting or 2 days fasting, and then you rest, and then your body will start to get gain energy, then fast 1 or 2 days and then rest. So it will help you to have the plan of half Ramadan fasting, or a few days of Ramadan fasting, which is much better than no fasting at all. So if you wish to know more, please be in contact with the lactation consultant. You can follow me on YouTube. You can share and subscribe this video for the Muslim ladies. You can also follow me on my social account and my social media for any question and answer. The second video part will be talking about how to maintain your breastfeeding and milk supply during fasting, if you're a fasting mother and breastfeeding. Have a nice day. Barakallahu feekum, and Ramadan Mubarak ahead, inshallah.